Welcome, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show coming out of Studio 44. It is Friday, the 17th? I think the 17th.
18.
Man, it's like it's been a long week. It's been a long June for some reason. Maybe it's just because I've been busy. I don't know. Producer James in the building. Appreciate you helping out with my dates.
Yes, sir.
Because, man, I was, I don't know. Maybe it's just a long Friday.
Where'd you be without me, man?
Probably up Schitt's Creek. Maybe. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Belly full.
Nice.
Ready to go.
We're gonna get into some college football today. We touched yesterday on the investigation that the NCAA had into Arizona State. A couple of key names have come to light. We'll dabble with that a little bit. In addition, the College Football Committee is looking to expand to a 12-team playoff system. It is now in the feedback stage. There probably won't make any kind of big decision before the football season that begins in late August, early September. We'll also dive into that. Man, apparently, like, it's not a good look to lose your fantasy team league, I should say, in Jacksonville, Mississippi. And there's an article that kind of brought up. We'll touch on that a little bit as we go, but it's Friday. You know, I'm feeling better. I think I'm trying to feel as hype as I can. Before we know it, man, 70 days away until high school football begins. And before you know it, that's like almost 2 months, a little over 2 months away.
I feel like just the other day you were saying 100 days.
Yeah, that's how many days have passed. It's been a month. And before you know it, man, it's going to be popping. It's going to be like week. It's like, ooh, we just got it last week. We just had a game last week. Yeah, it's going to be like that. And before we get out of here, we'll probably touch a little bit more on this De La Hoya Vitor. I found a photo, and we talked about Vitor maybe being on roids. I don't know. That's just the rumor.
Maybe.
We'll show you a picture, and we'll see what you think about that. But getting into the NFL, it's business as usual. It's the Aaron Rodgers party, and I'm not going to say anything on this until we have an answer. Matt LaFleur is finally shitting himself. I think he has no more words to say to the media. I think that he is unprepared to move forward with Jordan Love, and he is, I think, extremely worried about where the team is going currently. And so many people are on the side that it's Aaron's out. And it's like, you want to root for Jordan. You want him to do well. But what's the outlook for the Packers? You would have to say, if we're riding with Jordan Love, and I think that's what we should mainly focus on, is this is Jordan's team now.
Yeah.
And when they go back for training camp in late July and get into the preseason, which will probably begin for them, I would have to say the middle of August, we're going to get our first glimpse. And I would have to say he should get at least 50% of the snaps during the preseason for each preseason game. And as we get closer, he's going to have to get more. So the outlook I have to think to myself now is, with Andy Dalton being the named starter by Nagy in Chicago, and man, what Chicago, they're going through some mess right now with trying to build a new stadium. You have to look at the top team. The top team has to be the Vikings, because you have a brand new rookie coach in Detroit with Dan Campbell. The obvious team that's going to be, I think, at the top is a above average Minnesota Viking team. So now where do we put the rest of the three?
What about the Lions?
Yeah, brand new first year rookie head coach, Dan Campbell. And who's their quarterback? Jared Goff?
Yeah.
Give me a break. You would have had more luck with Matt Stafford. Who are their weapons? Yeah. Galladay's with the Giants now. They have nothing. Okay. They're rebuilding. Their biggest draft pick was Penei Sewell out of Oregon, and they loved that pick. I think Detroit's going to finish last. It's going to be a fight for the last place if Jordan's the quarterback in Green Bay. But you'd have to depend, number one, on your offensive line in Green Bay. That means Aaron Jones and Quinn Williams. Is that the backup running back out of Boston College?
A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon, thank you. Yeah, AJ Dillon. I should remember AJ.
Yeah, AJ Dillon.
So AJ Dillon Williams got left. She got let go.
Yeah.
You have to lean on them heavily, and probably the tight ends also, for them being best friends with Jordan Love. You're gonna have to want to make him your safety blanket. So Tunyon, the new come out of nowhere tight end that Aaron Rodgers made famous, and then Devontae Adams, he's gonna have to be the guy on third down. You're asking a lot of a literally first year quarterback. I wouldn't say rookie because he's not a rookie anymore, but he is a first year quarterback. And do we put them at 5 wins, 6 wins? I mean, I think that's where we're going to stop at 6. It's going to be between 4 and 6 if Jordan's the quarterback. What do you think?
I mean, initially I wanted to say 7, but
Okay, you can ride with 7.
I might be biased here.
Why would you put it at 7? Are you saying that they're going to get more wins in the division that's going to push them closer to 7? Because the games they play out of the division, they're going to lose. They play such a difficult schedule.
Pull up that schedule here. Okay.
So you're pulling up the Green Bay schedule?
Yeah.
Oh man, where are you going?
I just clicked on the first link. Hey man, let me do my job, bro.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, if you scroll down, it'll populate it for you. Google's good at that. Okay, so read off those games. Houston's probably a win.
So we're starting off with Packers and Saints, September 12th.
Okay, that's a loss.
Okay. Lions and Packers.
That's probably a win for y'all.
Packers at Niners.
Loss.
Steelers at Packers.
Loss.
Packers at Bengals.
Loss.
At Bears.
Loss.
Washington football team at Green Bay.
Loss.
God damn.
Loss.
At Arizona. At Chiefs.
Loss.
Seahawks. Yeah,
Loss.
I agree. Yeah, we're set up for definitely 3 straight losses. 4. 5.
Keep naming the teams that they're playing against.
Yeah. So Packers at Vikings.
Loss.
November 28th. Rams at Packers. Bears at Packers. December 12th.
Rams is going to be a loss.
Bears at Packers. December 12th.
That could be a W.
Packers at Ravens. December
Loss.
19th. Browns at Packers.
Loss.
On Christmas Day. And Vikings at Packers, and then Packers
Loss.
at Lions.
That's a W. You probably have 3 or 4 wins.
December. I didn't know they were playing on Christmas. So they made the schedule thinking that Aaron Rodgers was going to be there.
4 primetime games. They may even get those flexed out.
Yeah, primetime is Lions, 49ers, Cardinals, Bears, and the Vikings. January 2nd.
So they have 6 primetime games.
Yep.
Yeah, those will be flexed out. There's just no way. There's no way that they're gonna leave that much prime air time available for Jordan Love, and it's not his fault. I mean, Jordan Love shouldn't have been in the position anyways. I think we can all understand that. But those are the cards he's dealt with, and especially Matt LaFleur. I mean, if Matt LaFleur is going to earn his paycheck, earn his millions, this is the time to do it. You had easy pickings when Aaron was out there to go ahead and just throw the rock and let him do what he does. And then you take the ball out of his hand whenever they're trying to potentially go for fourth and goal. I mean, you didn't show up there. That was all coaching. So that's the card they're dealt with right now. And I don't know, man. I think it's going to be rough for Packers fans because they haven't experienced anything like this since probably before Brett. It's been like that long. It's been probably 25, 30 years. And so maybe longer than that, maybe closer to 40. No, so 16, 32, 33, 34 years. Long as I've been alive.
Quick side note, I was listening to Pops and Shots podcast earlier, and
Are they on video yet?
no,
Damn it.
I'm working on it. And they had proposed a question to their guests, which Green Bay quarterback would you rather take, Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers?
Okay.
No brainer to me. But
Which one?
Brett Favre.
No. Which time in their career? So we're gonna let's take their Super Bowl year because that's the best year that they had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he said Brett Favre, which I was like up in arms.
Why? Why were you up in arms?
Dude, Brett Favre. What I remember from the Brett Favre era was throw the ball up in the air. 50% of the time they're gonna catch it. 50% of the time they're gonna intercept it. And I think Aaron Rodgers is a little more calculated than that. He's not gonna.
He's a complicated fella.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers. That was a. You don't remember that hot take that was by?
Oh yeah.
Murphy.
Yeah. So I was just like, Aaron Rodgers all the way, bro. What are you doing?
Well, that's the only quarterback you've known like in your adult life, even since you were a teenager. Like you don't remember the Packers win a Super Bowl win when Favre was there.
Well, that's when I became a fan, when Favre was there.
So you remember that excitement?
Winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't mean as much as it meant to me 14 years later when Aaron Rodgers finally won a Super Bowl. But I did endure some very hard seasons with Brett Favre, and that's what I remember, like throwing the ball up in the air. Half the time, I do have lots of heartbreak with Brett Favre.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't argue with that. And I remember thinking, too, I was like, dude, what are we going to do when Brett Favre retires? Like, that time's coming soon. And I saw it was Dallas Cowboys were playing the Packers. Brett Favre hurt his finger, so he exited the game. Aaron Rodgers came out, and I think he went like 6 for 6 and threw a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So it kind of made me feel a little more at ease and,
a little bit more comfortable about the transition.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what I'm looking at is the 2 Super Bowl years.
Like the total season, in season?
No, I'm just looking at the Super Bowl game.
Oh, the game.
Yeah. And the reason I want to look at the game is because that's going to help me understand the, they're comparable. You had a 35-21 win for Brett Favre, and then you had a 31-25 win for Aaron Rodgers. It's pretty similar. And the defenses, I think, are going to probably be the most different between the two quarterback wins. But we all know Brett Favre is a Hall of Fame quarterback because he's been inducted. We all believe that Aaron will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So it's almost like, what do you take into consideration? Do you take into consideration the era they played in? It's a lot easier for Aaron to play football in today's world than it was for Brett Favre to play football in his world, just because the eras are so different. You have more prolific teams who are out there throwing the ball probably 30% more in this era than when they did in Brett Favre's era. The other thing, too, is the protection of the quarterback. You can't touch the quarterback the same way you did in today's era than you did when Brett Favre played.
Yeah, and I mean Brett Favre, tough motherfucker, man.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Him and Warren Sapp. I mean, I loved watching them have their wars, but at the same time, like, can we say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers and Ndamukong Suh?
Yeah.
I mean, we can pretty much say the same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what comes to mind.
And so you just have to ask yourself, could Aaron Rodgers do what Brett Favre did in his era? And can Brett Favre do what Aaron does? I think easily Brett Favre could do what Aaron does. The question is, because it's easier to play quarterback in today's era, the question is, Aaron likes to think of himself as, quote unquote, a tough guy. He likes to think of himself as a tough guy. The question is he a tough guy?
When you put it in that sense,
those were his words.
As far as like tough guy, I'd have to roll with Brett, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because Brett, I mean, I think he had a stretch, the longest starts. I think he had some sort of record or something like that. He didn't miss too many games.
Aaron doesn't miss many games either.
Yeah, true.
At the same time,
I mean, we had a broken collarbone a few years back.
Well, they have different body types also. Aaron's a little smaller, a little less massive.
Yeah, he's more. Yeah.
But and Brett's look, man. Aaron's a Chico, California kid, okay, and Brett Favre's, Southern Mississippi, farmer type of body type. So there's different guys.
Hey man, let me show you how I wear my Wranglers.
Okay. I thought you were gonna do Copperfit or something. I was like, where are we going with this?
You can't hate on that Monday night game after his father passed away. Also, he chose to play.
Yeah, that was tough.
Just went off Monday Night Football against the Oakland Raiders, I believe it was.
Yeah, that was. If you've ever seen anything about Brett, that's he grew up a tough kind of kid.
Yeah,
you know, it was a different kind of. That's a different kind of growing up, upbringing rather. I should
yeah.
say.
Dude, and that one pass that he had against the Minnesota. No, he was playing with the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. I think it was. Who was the team he was playing? Where he rolled out, threw it to the back of the end zone, and I think he hit Piercy Harvin for a touchdown.
He was playing with the Vikings?
Yeah, he was playing with the Vikings. It was like unbelievable. I was like, dude, how did he got hit? He was rolling out, hit him right on the money for a touchdown in the very back of the end zone.
Right.
Dude, how did you do that, dude? It was like it was a really, really great play.
Playing all those years at quarterback from probably just running for his life. Let's get into a break real quick. When we come back, we'll get into the NCAA topics. Just trying to make sure nobody's like reaching out to us now. Okay. Yeah, when we come back, we'll get into the who the NCAA has named specifically in this investigation at Arizona State. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Let's get into the NCAA investigation currently going on at Arizona State. A person of interest has been named, and that former player's name is Antonio Pierce. Y'all remember him as the great linebacker for the New York Giants. He previously was in California having coaching duties, and a lot of people have just commended him on his, tireless work ethic and basically unbridled effort that he's given into the recruiting aspect. And a lot of people have also named him the head coach kind of in waiting after Herm gets either out or retires or leaves or finds another job. And I don't think this is any maliciousness on his part as far as Antonio goes, but I do think that the allegations are that he attempted to sneak in players or recruits during games when COVID was going on. And somebody knows something. And I think as far as as each day goes by and more information is released and, proof has kind of been put out there, I think the rumblings are going to grow. And unfortunately, because Herm Edwards has taken on more of a CEO role at the university as far as their face and figurehead for the football team, he may pay the ultimate price as well as his staff. And just because of, the poor decisions of a few that are currently going on. But you kind of have to ask yourself this question. The NCAA is a lot of times a monkey see, monkey do. Rather, that's probably a bad analogy or not bad term, but more of a, hey, we're doing it, this other team's doing it too. And you have to ask yourself the question is, well, who else was doing it? Like, who else potentially was having recruits on campus?
You think it's going to be like
at the D1 level? Go ahead. Sorry.
You think it's going to be like a domino effect kind of thing?
Are you asking me, is Antonio Pierce going to snitch? Is that what you're asking me?
Well, I mean, like, is this the first school that's come to light that has,
This is the first school that this allegation has been leveled against, yes.
So you think, like, after this,
a lot more information is going to come out there, like, who else was doing it?
Yeah.
Who else do you know was doing it? Now, I don't believe the coaches are going to give each other up. But who are going to give them up is potentially the recruits and the parents of the recruits. So like, yeah, we didn't know we were here.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Y'all know it's a dead period. It got extended 7 times for the NCAA D1 level.
Yeah.
So they could be confused because the same rules did not apply to the Division II schools. So you could be a Division II player who's on that bubble and you're getting interest from in Arizona State, and you're also getting interest from a Northern Arizona university. So you kind of have that kind of, contrast going on right there. So there could be some kind of confusion, but these coaches definitely knew, and they're the ones who are going to be held accountable in this instance. But it's one of those things where, you mess up once, you go coach at high school, or you go get an NFL job for a couple of years, and then you come back and it's like it never happened. But this is going to show, this will be a door to open to be like, who else was doing it? What other schools were doing it? And that's what I think that's really what's going to come out of all of this was like, we had these kids on campus. Everything was fine. What happened with y'all? That's what people are going to say. And could there be a little hyperbole built in? Well, these are young people. They're not as high risk. A lot of that's probably going to come out. And they're like, well, we had our doctors monitoring. That's what they're going to say. Because a lot of these big universities, they have a medical program. Well, our doctors and our nurses said X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? And so I could see how that could get into it as well. And if the NCAA finds out, and this is just, like I said, my humble opinion with one mic, if the NCAA finds out that numerous schools across the United States were doing it, and the states that was occurring in, those governors or those legislatures could easily just say, they're fine. Nothing's going on. Now, the NCAA could say, well, we're going to punish y'all for this, this, and this. So it's just ironic, and it bothers me in the instance because the NCAA only wants to show leadership when someone breaks the rule. But when they break the rules or there's something that goes on that they're in agreement with but is not in agreement with the masses, nothing gets done, or they don't want to show any leadership. And so it's a catch-22 that boggles my mind. It's like, hey, Where are we at with name, image, and likeness? Where are we at with those laws, right? Oh, well, we're going to leave that to the states. Okay, great. Well, why don't you leave everything to the states? And if y'all aren't careful, the states are going to go ahead and get in cahoots with these leagues, and they're going to leave the umbrella of the NCAA, and they're going to go form their own football leagues outside of the rule of NCAA or the lack thereof rule of the NCAA.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, man, like
Pick and choose when you want to be a leader.
right, it's just some straight bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't pick and choose.
I
You got to be a
agree.
leader all the time.
For
Just
sure.
like look what happened with COVID with the football season last year in 2020 when we're going to the football season. They were like, oh, we're going to leave it up to the leagues. So that means the Big 12, the SEC, the ACC, the Big 10, the Pac-12, the Sun Belt, all of y'all got to figure it out on your own. Well, the SEC was like, well, we're going to play football. We don't care. We're going to have 10-day sit-out period if you get COVID. And then the Big 12 was the last one to move. The Big 10 said, nope, we're not doing it. Our doctor said no. Pac-12, our doctor said no, we're not doing it. Well, then the players came out and said, no, we want to play. We want to play. Justin Fields, shout out to him for being the leading voice for Ohio State. And what did Ohio State do? Them and their boosters were able to turn around the Big Ten leadership and say, oh, well, we are going to play. We're going to have a limited season.
Whoa. What
And
did we say?
the rules are a Big Ten team, in order to qualify for a Big Ten title game, has to play more than 5 games. Oh, well, ironically, the Big Ten and the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Ohio State Buckeyes are not going to be able to make 5 games. Oh, well, we're going to change the rules because we win a champion. No, you want Ohio State to be the champion. There's no leadership at the top from the NCAA, and so now the leagues can pick and choose the rules they want to follow and then change them mid-season so that they can, put the team they want into this college football playoff to bring all these millions of dollars to their limited season that they had. Meanwhile, the SEC is playing a 10-game season and playing each other in order to send someone to the college football playoff. Same thing with the Pac-12 or the Big 12. The Pac-12, I think they played like a few games.
Is there a Pac-10?
There used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be the Pac-10, and then it went to the Pac-12.
Somebody joined, right? 2 teams, obviously.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Colorado and Boise State, maybe. Yeah, that could be right. I could be wrong. Anyways, the point is that not a lot of leadership at the top level for the NCAA in college football. So let's transition into the college football playoff. Like we did mention, there has been a motion for an extension or an expansion rather for 12 teams. And we have a small graphic. Shout out to Sports Illustrated for getting this done up. But this is what it would look like potentially if there were a 12-team playoff system with probably the top 4 getting buys in the game. Now, this isn't real. This is just a graphic that what it could look like. Now, we're still too early to make a decision. This football committee is probably right now in the feedback position or feedback situation on how this can be done, how can it be implemented, and in other words, how the hell are we all going to make money off of this, to be really honest with y'all. So 2 things I think to really consider. Number 1, this isn't going to happen this season. When could it happen? It could happen as early as 2023, but it could happen as late as 2026. Why? Because that's when the ESPN TV rights deals go up for renegotiation at the end of 2025. And so then that's when the Amazons, the YouTubes, the streaming services could really come in, just like Amazon did this past year, and take over Fox's Thursday night football game and put it on their streaming service. I have a really big feeling that as we get into the middle of the 2020s, lots of college football and lots of pro football are going to go onto these streaming platforms, and cable's going to lose out. ESPN won't lose out because they already have their own streaming service, ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
They're already ahead of the game. They know what's coming. It's just everybody else is going to be left out if you are not going to be willing to pay for that extra service. Bleacher Report, they did it with the XFL, with the AAF, the American Alliance Football League. They did it a couple of years ago. The XFL is coming out in 2022. Who knows where that will be at?
Did that get pushed back because of COVID?
No, I don't think it got pushed back because of COVID. I think it's numbers are $7 Production, which is owned by Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson. They understood, like, look, we need to have revenue available for probably a full season. We need revenue set aside if we make no money during a full football season. Basically, they want to have their expenses covered in case no revenue is generated. Smart on their part. That's what the XFL and their commissioner, I can't remember his first name, but he's Andrew Luck's dad. It's Oliver Luck. That's his name. That's what they should have done, but they wanted to rush it so that they could compete with the Alliance of American Football or the American Alliance Football, whatever it was. So poor decision making. But I believe this is going to pass. I think a lot of people are going to get pissed off. People are going to say, oh, well, we need 16 teams or we need, 36 teams. We need 12, I think is a good number. I think 10 was the best number, but 12 makes it fair for the top 4 teams to get a bye. And I think that's what they're really looking for, is just a first-round bye. And then it's a play to get in. But people can say, oh, well, it's a play to get in now. It's like, really? Really? Talk to University of Central Florida a few years ago. Talk to Texas A&M last year, who got left out because Notre Dame just played more games on more TVs with more eyeballs. You played Clemson twice. You lost one of those games. You had no business. Well, Alabama lost to Texas A&M. Okay, well, who won the national championship? Who plays a better in-conference schedule? Who has better athletes from the state of Texas and Southeast? It's not Notre Dame. Just saying. Just gonna leave it right there. Yes, that is a bias. SEC football makes noise. Everything else just doesn't.
Yeah. Regarding the deals, like I feel like you should be able to turn on your streaming service of your choice.
No.
Not of your choice.
It has to be structured in a way that is going to be easily accessible. Now, you say your choice, that means you can have YouTube and you can get everything. Right? You can have ESPN and get everything. That very open sourced thought process is not what makes money. And that leads into the negotiation of, like, we can do this for you. Amazon, we can do this for you. YouTube, we can do this for you. ESPN, we can do this for you. And they're talking to these schools. I'm sorry, these leagues, SEC, Big 10, Pac-12, Big 12. They're saying, this is what we can do for you. This is what we can do for you. This is what we can do for you.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then they're going to say, oh, and in addition, we can do this, 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 and this. We can host all of your female sports. We can host all of your spring sports. We can put more eyes on this. And it's just about who's got the most money to say, we want your TV rights deal. I'm going to tell you this right now. The streaming service that gets the SEC football and whatever conference the University of Texas is in, that streaming service has the most money, period. Because they'll be able to offer the most money to the SEC and the whatever league the University of Texas is in. They have the most cash.
So they, like the streaming services, they buy the rights, right?
They share the rights with the schools, yeah.
Well, so just for say, like every single streaming service was like, fuck you, NCAA, we're not broadcasting none of y'all's games. Y'all can kiss our ass. What happens then?
That's not smart. That's not good business.
Yeah, I know, but where are they going to go broadcast their games? Or are they just going to be like, oh, okay.
Somebody will come get them. Fox will come get them. Bleacher Report will come get them.
But let's just say, that nobody.
So here's an instance. Like the FCS schools. Like this past year in the spring, ESPN was broadcasting the FCS schools. They don't ever get any love from anybody. Well, why? Because it doesn't make any money. So if your schools are not being streamed, you're not bringing in money. You're not profitable. You're not a profitable business for us to go spend our advertising dollars with you in your league. But if you are profitable, if you can put 100,000 people in your stadium and you're going to have another 2 million watching at home, like the SEC, the Notre Dames, the University of Texas, the Clemsons. Who else? Southern California, the Oregon. Those teams, they're going to be profitable because people are going to watch them. People want to see the flashy uniforms at Oregon. People want to look at the traditions at Southern California, University of Texas. There's people who never even step foot on the 40 acres who wear UT gear. There's somebody in Texarkana right now with a University of Texas shirt on who's never been to Austin. There are those people because they're like, oh, well, I'm from Texas. And I have a shirt that says Texas only on it. Just says Texas, burnt orange. Everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, same thing. The top 2 most profitable universities as far as football goes, there's 2 of them, and they're both in Texas. And it's a race. It's always a constant race. And it's between Texas A&M and Texas. The last time I checked, Texas A&M was the highest grossing football program in the United States. Texas right behind it. And it's not even close for third.
Since you're talking about like advertising and stuff, I don't think I've ever showed you the extent of my my Green Bay Packers, how invested I am.
Oh my God. Don't get naked on this show, bro. What are you doing here?
I don't think I've ever showed you.
Well,
that
you have.
before.
So you're telling me, for the people who are watching or didn't watch, you have a tattoo of the Green Bay Packers bursting through your skin.
I do. It's like if you scratch me, I got green and gold underneath me.
And you were born in Texas.
That's what I thought about it. Yeah, but it's not about okay. So for people that are like that, you telling me that,
which is the vast majority of folks.
You're telling me that wherever you're born, like we are all supposed to be, divided based upon, like we're like I'm supposed to be a Cowboys fan. If you're from, Wisconsin, you're a Green Bay fan. California, you're telling me we're supposed to be all separated according to, you know what I mean?
The likeliness of you being a fan of that geographical area is likely, sure, yeah. But as far as like the blind faith that you should follow that team because that's where you were born, no, that's not required. But I mean, LeBron James is a Dallas Cowboy fan.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And he was born in Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
He should be a Cleveland Browns fan or a Cincinnati Bengal fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter where you were born. It's just I bring that up because the likeliness of anybody, not you, but of anybody, being a fan of a team in that geographical area that had success when you were a child in your formidable years, you should most likely be a fan of.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the logic that I apply to it.
Dude, I mean, I was lucky enough my family, they're nothing but Cowboys fans. So there's nothing nobody can say to me that I haven't heard before from my immediate family. And it's like,
well, it's good that you have that passion to be a Green Bay Packer fan, but it's like, would you move to Green Bay?
I'll tell you when I visit.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, okay, I see. You want to check out the scenery and the weather and all that?
From what I've seen, I mean, it's like, well, I will tell you this much. I always told people, we talked about it. I told you, I was like, if I ever go watch a game in Lambeau Field, I want it to be in the frozen tundra. I want it to be cold as fuck, snowing, get the full experience. Well, after that freeze here in Texas, I was like, I might get a late November game or early November game. Something
not so
in the fall.
fast.
Yeah,
not so fast.
Because I've seen dudes there shirtless, painted on their chest.
Yeah, but it's like Bane from Dark Knight Rises. He's like,
true.
I was born of this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the heat in Texas, and you have people who come here, like all these folks from California come into Austin. They're like, it's so hot. It's July. I'm like, motherfucker, wait till August. Wait till August 30th. Holla at me then. You have no idea. Plus the humidity.
I'd say July 30th.
But it's like, no, man, hell no. It's June 18th. It's 92 degrees and people are crying. Wait till it's 102 in August. Late July, August, that's probably fair. But yeah, just wait. It's going to get worse. But that's the difference is like you have someone who comes from a buddy of mine, his fiance, she was from Wisconsin. And she went to school in Oklahoma, and she worked in the oil fields as an engineer in Texas. And she hated the heat. But now they live in Iowa. And my buddy grew up in South Texas and Central Texas. And he was like, I hate the cold. I hate the cold. Well, love will make you do some crazy things because you can go up north and you're going to deal with it. But people who were born in that climate, it's nothing to them. Like 40 degrees is short and t-shirt weather. 40 degrees to us, it's like, man, who's got a poncho or a blanket or something? Because it's freezing to us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, back to in regards of being a fan of a certain team, I just like, dude, there's something about like when I turn on the TV, you see that yellow, you see the G on the helmet. There's something that it just pulls me in, it attracts me.
For the fans, yeah.
Yeah, and when I was watching, you know, it's like Lambeau Field, the wide open, the field, the history behind it, everything, you know, it just, I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? Like I really am. I'm proud of being a fan. You know, in past years, I don't know how things have going as of late. You know, so
look, I hear Michael Jackson playing. I hear you walking it back right now.
Moonwalking. Well, yeah, moonwalking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, man, there's nothing wrong with being a fan, and that's where, you know, the word fanatic, you get that fanatical feeling comes from, and I lost that. I don't get me wrong, like I root for the Cowboys. You know, I root for the Houston Texans, even though they're a bunch of weirdos over there right now. But even in the dysfunction, I still have this. It's not. I'm not a fanatic. I don't get emotional. Like if they lose, I'm like, yeah, well, they lost.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people can't help that. Like the DC4L Zombies, they're like, my week fucking sucks because Dallas lost. I'm like, well, that's because you're a fanatic and you have an emotional response to. You know who you are out there. Y'all know who is watching. I know y'all know who's out there. But for you, like if Green Bay loses, it's going to be like your week's going to be shit because you have that emotional attachment.
Yeah, true.
For me, like I've lost that. And that thought got into my brain real quick and I go, I hope as we go forward through the football season and, you know, hopefully we're going to grow this show and you're here. And I hope you don't lose that by getting more experience with the game.
Yeah.
Because when I got into fantasy football, gosh, almost 16, 17 years ago, when I got into fantasy football, year by year, it killed that passion, that fanaticism, if that's the right word, that fanatical feeling for like the Cowboys and the Texans. Like it slowly just beat it into the ground and went away because I was now more concerned with what the players on my team that I could draft can do for me in this other competitive nature. Now, don't get me wrong. I still am going to root for the team and cheer them, but I'm not going to have an emotional investment with them. And that makes us get to our next point, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to basically talk about how somebody in Jacksonville, Mississippi, had to sit at a Waffle House for a long time. We'll let you know the story when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Let's get into a little bit of Dallas Cowboy talk. I'm just going to go ahead and say this now. The Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, are the scariest dark horse team in the NFL going into 2021. The reemergence of Ezekiel Elliott will be, I think, the biggest storyline going in there. And you can shake your head all you want, but I'm telling you, this is what I believe. When Zeke saw Dak go down last year, and all those hombres were boo-hooing and boo-hooing in the stands while everybody was trying to holler at their chicks because they were looking pretty lousy. I think Ezekiel Elliott saw the pain physically and emotionally that Dak was going through. And then, of course, with the tragedy over the pandemic when Zeke's brother, took his own life, I think that was another catalyst for Zeke to get his shit straight. I think Zeke's grown up. I think Zeke's been a real immature these past 5 years. And I think a lot of this is kind of, waned on him a little bit in the instance where I think he's gotten more mature and focused on his craft. I think with the rehabilitation Dak Prescott went through, it now seems to me that Dak, the offensive line, and Ezekiel Elliott are going to be on one accord in addition to the crazy wideouts that they have. And then you have, the security blanket with Jarwin over the middle at the tight end position. I think that's going to be a new weapon people are really going to get to learn about. Fantasy sleeper, just putting it out there right now. Jarwin for the Cowboys. He could probably, I think he may lead tight ends in catches this season for Jarwin. But happy belated birthday to Amari Cooper. His birthday was yesterday. That trio, if they can stay together and even if they get dinged up, it doesn't matter because they're just plug and play. You have Gallup can go deep. Amari can go deep. CeeDee's faster than all of them and can take them deep as well. I think we're going to see Ezekiel Elliott get the ball out of the backfield a little bit more in this kind of West Coast style-ish. It's not completely West Coast, but stylish offense out of the backfield for Zeke. And Kellen Moore says he's looking fast. He's looking crisp. Dak says that Ezekiel Elliott is the best he's ever looked and as healthy as he's ever looked in the time at Dallas. If they can get back things to the way they were their first year, when they were literally fighting over Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think that team could be really dangerous, especially now that you have Micah Parsons on the backside, Keanu O'Neal coming over from Atlanta, pretty much a safety who's converted linebacker. Leighton Vander Esch, sit your ass on the sideline because we don't need your glass ass out there, and just let Jalen Smith take care of his business at the middle linebacker position, because you have two speed guys with Parsons and Keanu O'Neal, and let Jalen just handle the middle. Jalen, look, you got two reads. You got A-gap or A-gap. Let the other two linebackers handle the rest. And the DBs, just do what you can. Because I think that this could be a year where Dallas is going to quietly sneak up upon a lot of teams that people are just unsuspectingly like, oh, those are the Cowboys. They're just going to quit. They always quit. They're just going to roll over. I think this year is going to be a little bit different. I really do. And this is me being like a fair analysis of what's really going on.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish you were like a little more like emotional about the Dallas Cowboys.
Nah, bro.
That way we can go back.
You got to get Papa Romeo in here if you want to be emotional.
Because I honestly enjoy hearing Dallas Cowboys fans just like speak nonsense and not based on facts.
What we should do is try to get a real emotional like Cowboy fan in here.
Put an ad out.
Who?
We can put an ad out.
Yeah, if you're a real emotional, if you're watching the show and you're somebody who's like highly emotional Dallas Cowboy fan, just like blindly follows Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, like call into the show or drop a comment down below and we'll see if we can get you on the show. Just kind of get in there.
I know plenty, but I'm afraid of the camera. Yeah, I would be too if I was a Cowboys fan. Trust me.
Well,
I would be too.
You may be in their same boat here in about 6 months. You'd be like, I don't know if I'm gonna do the show today. It's like, dude, they just lost by 30. It's Monday. Like, you need to come do the show.
Hey, Paul, my camera broke.
I forgot my camera. Don't worry, we got a backup for you.
Oh man,
it's like all they do is lose now. I'm like, I don't know, man. Call Aaron. Don't call me.
Like, I wish I had him on speed dial.
Shit. Aaron, where you at?
I would have said, flow me out to Hawaii, brother.
Fly me to the moon. Beyond the sky. Where it's not, that's not Frank Sinatra. I don't know.
Hit it.
Hit it. That's James Brown. That's gonna hurt my throat. Can't feel my chest.
Thought you had a little nitro in there.
Woo, man, that was don't remind, dude. That's a nightmare. Like I've tried to like remove that from my brain. That little nitro was scary.
So let me ask you: would you do any more like hot challenges in the future?
Maybe I would, if it's anything under 9 million Scovilles. Yeah, I'll do it
For sure.
But I think last time, like, I don't know the science, but I don't know if that really added up to 18 million. But I bet it was over 10.
Yeah, because I have the Bomb Beyond Insanity hot sauce at home.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to try.
Why do I have to try everything? You should try it.
I have tried it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do like a real pepper, like a real habanero.
I mean, I'm down to sit right there next to you.
A real like
try it out together.
Man, I don't know. It's scary.
Or you want to do like a pepper?
Yeah, like a real legit like hot pepper. I don't know. We'll have to brainstorm. Maybe we'll do like a but you want to do things live, and I'm like, it's better if we can go do it recorded because then we can edit it up and get it fancy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back into the football talk. Have you lost your fantasy league before? Have you ever come in last place?
I just did this past season.
In which league?
In my main league.
You were last.
I was last place.
Do y'all have a punishment, or do y'all have some kind of something?
Luckily we don't.
You've seen where like people got to get a tattoo.
For sure.
People have to do something.
Bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, in Jackson, Mississippi, a individual had to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House.
Ooh.
Now, he could for every waffle he ate, he could subtract an hour. He was in there for 15 hours and ate 9 waffles. 15. He was in there. He ate 9 waffles over 15 hours. I'm like, how big are the fucking waffles?
Dude, Waffle House.
I've never been to Waffle House.
I did once.
It's a thing in the South, though. I mean, they're in Jackson, Mississippi,
yeah.
So apparently. But what do you think that's like a gluttonous punishment that you would want to endure, or you would I guess you would accept if you came in last?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that. I like to be a good sport,
yeah.
good player, so I like to take my punishment.
In my big league, we have 4 different leagues. And there's no punishment, but out of all 4 leagues on total points, if you have our total score. So basically, if you're last out of all 4 leagues, and it's like each team will have a rank out of all 4 leagues. If you're the bottom person, you get your money back. Wow. Yeah. So because sometimes things happen, and we're in a like hyper competitive league. Like if you lose, it's because you got a raw deal. Like you basically you're getting a mulligan basically.
Y'all do transaction fees and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
a PPR league, but it's only It's only one quarterback and one flex, and there's different points for I think it's like 1/10 of a point per catch, because we were having like Keenan Allen catch like 15 passes and he would have like 35 points. It's like, dude, all you're gonna do is focus on people who have high catches. It's a lot easier to do. It's like, yeah, 15 catches, 27 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
What is it normally for a catch?
1 point. So it's kind of like, who do you go? Do you go get Keenan Allen, or do you go get like Julio Jones?
That makes sense.
Or you could have, Julian Edelman, who you can draft in like the 12th round, and he's going to give you 18 points because he's going to catch 11 balls. This is like 5 years ago. But still, that's the point. So instead, you have to go focus on more people with their yardage and their touchdowns. That's really what we wanted the kind of focus to be on.
Yeah, I'm very serious when it comes to fantasy football league. We have a trophy,
Yeah.
and it has plaques of past winners on there.
Wow. Okay.
And dude, I have to have my name on that freaking thing, dude.
Do you have it on there now?
No, I do not. I never won in our fantasy football
Okay.
league. So let me tell you, back-to-back years, I went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Back-to-back years, I lost to the same person. Really ate me up inside, dude. I was really thinking about being like, "Fuck you guys, fuck your league. I'm gone."
So now you know how Aaron Rodgers feels.
Talking about me, man.
Back to back NFC Championship games and you lose.
Okay.
Just
Except
want
I
you-
didn't have somebody over my shoulder. Start this guy. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, you did.
4th and down.
You had that guy you lost to last year over your
4th and
shoulder,
go.
haunting you.
It was a girl. It was a girl.
We are not talking about this shit anymore. You lost to a woman in fantasy football.
2 years back to back. You know what actually?
You know what? You're right. You're right. You should fucking quit.
You know what actually happened?
No disrespect to the girls out there, but
Yeah.
like, you should not lose to females.
So you know what actually happened? So I had Cam Newton one year, and I was like, I just was not big on Cam Newton, and I was like, I'm gonna do something different, you know, playmaker. He went off that year. He had 2 bad games. One of them was in the regular season. The other one was the Super Bowl in our playoffs.
So is this the Super Bowl year he went to? Is this the
No,
year
no,
he
no.
went to-
It was playoffs for them. No, it was actually the end of the regular season.
Right, but is this the year that they went to the Super Bowl? The Panthers.
I don't think so. It was like 3-4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, I was totally pissed. The other one was I think it was Todd Gurley. I think he had got hurt
What a bust.
towards the end of the. Well, he was
Yeah, he was balling, I'm sure.
yeah, and he got hurt. Yeah, that's what it was. He got hurt at the end of the season, and then I was like, well, who's his backup and all of that. Found out
Devontae Freeman.
was it at the time?
Where was he at?
It was it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
So he was in Los Angeles.
Okay. No, I don't think it was Freeman because I went and I looked it
No,
up.
no,
and
it
all
wasn't
that.
Freeman if it was in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So I looked it up and all of that. Yeah. Todd Gurley was over there in Los Angeles. I forgot his freaking name, but anyway, so I looked it up. That chick, she picked up the back. She fucked me.
She bought your insurance policy.
So I learned a lesson that year. So you know me, the type of guy, I was like, okay, mental note, and I choked also.
It's a joke.
Mental note noted. Moving forward, good thing that the league pays out. They pay out first, second, and third. So I collected a little money, but
Third
you know,
place. What a left.
yeah, all second. So yeah,
First Super Bowl people who play in the Super Bowl only get paid. That's the way we do it. That's the way I like to do it.
yeah. They pay out first, second, third, and also points leader.
Yeah, points leader we pay out too.
Yeah.
Let's just wind it up right now. We talked about this yesterday. Vittori. God, what am I thinking about? Vitor Belfort and his roided history. Found this photo on Instagram, paired next to a very superintendent-esque De La Hoya photo there. This is not what pulled from Triller. That is not the De La Hoya we know from Triller or from Golden Boy. That does not look like... this dude looks like your grandpa who's proud of you. And Vitor Belfort looks like your step-grandfather who doesn't like you.
I really didn't get the purpose of the photo because I'm like, dude, you got a full body shot of Vitor looking all like, you know.
Well, I think that's just to show off like his, roidedness.
Yeah, but then like, I mean, you would think that they would be comparing them between these two photos, but it's like incomparable photos.
This is probably somebody who's like a boxing aficionado, a boxing purist. They're going to paint De La Hoya to be, the next door neighbor, Mr. Nice Guy, and then this Neanderthal of a human being and Vitor Belfort. Look at this microbial mutant who has to pump foreign nonsense into his body like cocaine. Not one guy did cocaine in this picture, and it ain't the guy who did the roids. I'm just saying, I'm such an asshole. De La Hoya didn't deserve that, but it's not false. But it's not fake. It ain't a fugazi. Just saying. All right.
How does stuff like that get out that you're like doing cocaine like on a
Because he went to
on a regular
rehab.
basis? Oh, okay. I thought like one of his homeboys that he was hanging out with was like, "Hey man,
Oh yeah,
this dude's
somebody
a-"
from Tijuana came out. Oh, did Oscar De La Hoya does cocaine? I'm like, dude, no, he doesn't. And then he goes to rehab, and you're like, oh shit, Oscar does fucking cocaine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that's how people in Tijuana talk. I don't
That's
know.
why you don't go to rehab, man.
What's that Amy Winehouse song? They wanted me to go to rehab, but I said no. R.I.P.
For sure.
Dude, we're gonna get fucking kicked off the fucking YouTube.
Hey, there's worse out there, man.
We're
There's
dumb.
worse out there.
No, there's not. I watch a lot. Nobody's gonna want to advertise with us, and it doesn't matter.
You ever see Dark Side on Wednesday nights?
How much y'all pulling in revenue, Jack?
True.
The same as we are. No, we just need I don't know. The stuff we says aren't wrong, and if it is, we'll say allegedly.
Yeah. And we like to give our opinion every now and then, right? Gotta,
Real talk.
yeah.
Real talk with P. Rod and producer James.
Real talk. 100 emoji after that.
Nah, fuck that.
Not a fan.
No, like I'm not 12. What do I mean, I like emojis, but like not with that. It should be like real talk, and it should be like maybe 100%, but it should be like USDA 100%, you know, something like that. Something a little more official than an emoji. But I'm down with the 100%. Real talk. What would it be like real sports talk? Something like that.
How about 100 real sports talk?
What's 100?
That's what the young kids out here say. It's not 100, it's 100.
Yeah, well, you can keep it 100 somewhere else. So in here, we enunciate, damn it. I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. What do we leave the people with before we head off for the week?
We're leaving the people with y'all. Everybody have a good weekend.
Yes. Safe weekend.
Happy Father's Day on Sunday for all the fathers out there. Barbecue it up. Enjoy your day. Be grateful. And, yeah, we'll see you back here again Monday, right?
Yeah, after we just dogged everybody. Happy Father's Day to Papa Romeo. Man, I don't like to say my family's names. And I don't know. Yeah, to the grandparents out there, both my grandfathers, happy Father's Day to y'all. Happy Father's Day to you, Producer James.
Thank you.
Yeah, and everybody out there, appreciate y'all watching. To all the dads who enjoy our stupid content, thank you very much for sharing it with your friends. We'll probably have some guests coming back soon. Maybe we need to put a phone number out there. Let the guests call in. Let's let people like, hey, you want to call in? Call in. What do you got? What do you want to say? Let the people talk. Give the people a voice. What do you think?
Maybe you should have Flex on PRS instead of the other way around.
Have Snoop call in?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. If he's not, I don't know if he's doing anything. Snoop's a busy man.
For sure.
Like, Snoop, if you want to call in, call in.
I see he's verified on Twitter.
Yeah, Snoop is official, bro. He's
Official like a referee with a whistle.
He's got endorsements. He's a made man. I don't know what else. Anything new going on? Any new shows?
No, we're watching the currently doing the whole Annabelle, the Nun. Yeah, we're going through all of that right now.
You ever seen Peaky Blinders?
God, that sounds so familiar.
It's on Netflix.
I think my brother told me about it. I never saw it, but my brother has told me about it.
Yeah, it's like
no. One of my good friends told me about it. It's like a what's like the.
It's like a gangster movie.
Yeah.
It's from, I think it's in Britain or London.
Yeah.
And I think it's in like the 1800s or something like that. Anyways, it sparked my interest. I think I'm going to begin the season, or I'm going to begin the series. You know me, man. I'm just going to binge it. Just like episode after episode after episode after episode. That's what I like to do.
One night.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take probably multiple nights. But Game of Thrones, I binged in like 2 months. All day. Just like 7 seasons. Just on loop.
You seen Breaking Bad?
I have not. People
Dude,
think I'm crazy. Like, never seen Breaking Bad.
So
They're like,
good.
you should get into it. I'm like, the dude's a chemist, a high school chemistry teacher.
Oh, there's so much more to it.
Slang some meth. Call Saul. Yeah, I get it. It's not my cup of tea, bro. Like, well, I see a bunch of dirty people slanging meth.
So much more to it, though.
Yeah. Bunch of rubber rousers, messing up the youths of America. I'm just kidding. I don't know, just not my cup of tea.
All right.
I like gangster movies. I don't really like drug movies, although I did like Blow.
It's one of my favorites.
Blow's cool. Didn't that guy recently die?
He did.
Henry
George Young.
George Young, yeah. He recently died.
Yep.
R.I.P. Yeah, that one. I like Goodfellas. I like gangster movies.
Yeah, Goodfellas, very good.
You ever seen The Departed? That's one I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Never seen that one. What about Heat?
Bruce Willis.
Show's over. Turn this off. You never seen Heat? Val Kilmer, Robert De Niro,
No Bruce Willis.
Al Pacino.
No.
Al Pacino's a cop. Robert De Niro's a bank robber.
No.
They put on the mask. It's a big ass shootout.
No.
Got some Netflix homework to do. Heat. You never seen Heat?
No. Come on, man. I'm not a guy that's like.
What's,
I mean,
who else was in it? Danny Trejo was in it.
with Breaking Bad, like, you know, I want to be like, dude, you've never, but like, I'm a big proponent of like not telling people because there's so much shit out there for someone to be like, I will tell you that if you haven't seen like Forrest Gump.
Okay, let me say that. Have you seen Blood In, Blood Out?
Yes.
Okay, that's the same thing like saying the same reaction. You never seen Blood In, Blood Out is the same reaction you would get. You never seen Heat or Goodfellas, Reservoir Dogs.
You seen Blood In, Blood Out?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
But
I know you have.
How do you know?
Just because I can
Just
tell.
because I'm a big Mexican with a beard.
I can tell it's integrated into your DNA.
Like those locals forever.
I can tell by the way you talk that you've seen Blood In, Blood Out.
You can tell by the way I speak. I've seen Blood In, Blood Out.
Yes.
Maybe not all the time, but in instances, maybe you can tell
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
I'm a complex dude, man. I'm just complicated.
All right. Fair enough. Paul, what are you going to leave the people with, Paul?
I wanted to say something from that movie so bad. Everything was like, don't say it. It's like the yesterday when we were talking about.
Yeah, you still need to tell me about
I
that.
can't. I think I forgot.
I was laying in bed yesterday. No homo.
You were laying in bed thinking of me. Nasty.
That's why I said it. No homo. And I was like, dude, he never told me the joke. And I was like, unfucking believable. Just rolled over and went to bed.
Rolled over, went to bed. Sounds familiar. Oh yeah.
So what are you leaving the people with?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but treat people the way you want to be treated. Hey man, just treat people all right. Treat people, with I can't. Well, we just talked about. I can't just say what I want to say now because I go from like super degenerate to like I want to quote the Bible. See, dude, I'm just complicated.
Golden rule, man. Golden rule.
Platinum rule, I think, is better. Golden rule is great, but platinum rule is treat people the way you want to be treated. Or no, treat people the way they want to be treated. That's a platinum rule. Golden rule is treat people the way you want to be treated. So you got to know the people.
I feel like there's people. All right.
No, say it.
I feel like there's people out there that want to be treated like shit.
Hey, that's why it works. That's exactly why it works. If you want to act like you want to be treated like an asshole, I'm gonna treat you like an asshole. But if you want to act like you want to be treated with fairness, compassion, and kindness, hey, we can do that too. I'm here for you.
All right.
It's not my blood. I hate that. Let's go. Let's get out of here, man. We're out. We'll see y'all Monday.